Hello everyone. In this video, we will learn to explain how electron dot diagrams and radial probability distribution plots depict the electron's location within the atom. 2. Define radial and angular nodes and calculate the number of radial and angular nodes for a given orbital. As we discussed earlier, the wave function psi has no physical significance. It is just a mathematical function that represents the electron wave. On the other hand, the square of the wave function psi square has a physical significance. Psi square at a particular point gives us the probability density of the electron at that point. We also defined the orbital as a three-dimensional space around the nucleus of an atom in which the probability of finding the electron is maximum. In this video, what we are going to learn is various ways to visualize these 3D spaces or orbitals. There are three different ways that we use. 1. The electron dot plot. 2. The probability, that is psi square versus the radius. 3. The radial probability distribution RPD plots. First, let us discuss about the electron dot plot. Now, imagine you have a camera that can take a picture of an electron within a hydrogen atom. Let us say that at a particular instant, the electron is at a certain position, and you take its picture. Note that this is a hypothetical camera which is violating Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. We know that the electron is not static. That is, it keeps moving in a specific three-dimensional space in the hydrogen atom. So the next picture you take of the electron may capture the electron at a different position than the one before. Now imagine we take a billion pictures at various time points and superimpose all these pictures. The image that is obtained is what we call as electron dot plot. The density of the dots in this plot shows the probability of finding an electron at that position. The more concentrated the dots are at a particular point in the three-dimensional space, the higher is the probability of finding an electron at that point. As we can see, the density of the dots is higher closer to the nucleus and decreases as we move away from the nucleus. The second way of representing an orbital is by plotting the electron probability, that is psi square, on y-axis and the radius of the atom on x-axis. What we do is we draw a line from the nucleus and pointing outward and calculate the electron probability psi square at each point on this line and plot it against the radius. This is called as probability plot. The electron probability psi square value is greatest at the nucleus and decreases gradually with increasing the distance. At large values of r, the probability will be small, but we can never say that it is exactly equal to 0. The third way to visualize an orbital is called the radial probability distribution plot. The radial probability distribution, RPD, gives the probability of finding an electron in a spherical shell of thickness dr at a distance r from the nucleus. Imagine the 3D space around the nucleus is made of very thin concentric shells like the layers of an onion. The radial probability is the probability of finding an electron in a particular concentric shell. The way we do it is by multiplying the probability density at a particular radius with the surface area of the concentric shell corresponding to that radius. We know that the electron probability decreases with radius, and the surface area of a concentric shell increases with the radius. So, the radial probability, which is a product of electron probability and surface area, will be a net effect of two opposing numbers, one that decreases and the other that increases. At the beginning, the net increase in the surface area from one shell to the next is much greater than that of the decrease in the probability density from one shell to the next. Therefore, the radial probability density increases. After we reach a certain radius, the increase in the surface area from one shell to the next becomes smaller than the decrease in the probability density from one shell to the other. Therefore, the product of these two values, that is radial probability, decreases from that point. The maximum point on this plot is called as most probable radius, which corresponds to a concentric shell where the radial probability is the maximum. For hydrogen, the most probable radius was calculated to be 52.9 picometers. Pause the video here for a moment and think if we have seen this number before. Yes, this is exactly the radius of n is equals to 1 shell calculated by Niels Bohr using his model of atom. In this slide, we will discuss how we measure the radius of an orbital. The 1s orbital looks like a sphere. However, the boundary of that orbital cannot be precisely defined because the probability of finding an electron decreases with the radius, but it never becomes zero. Therefore, it is not obvious how we measure the radius of an orbital. Therefore, we use an arbitrary definition to describe the exact size of an orbital. We take the electron dot plot and draw a sphere around the nucleus that encompasses around 90% of the electron's probability. And the radius of this sphere is defined as the radius of 1s orbital. For hydrogen, this is equal to 2.6 times A0, where A0 is the Bohr's radius, which is equal to 52.9 picometers. In summary, we have three different kinds of plots to visualize the orbitals: the electron dot plot, the probability plot, and the radial probability distribution plot. Next, we are going to represent the other orbitals in these three different types of plots. Let's now discuss the 2s orbital. If we draw a sphere around the electron density like we did before, we get the boundary of the 2s orbital. It is still a spherical shape, but it is bigger than the 1s orbital. If we look at the cross section of this 2s orbital, that is, cut the sphere halfway, we see that there are two regions of high probability separated by a region where the probability of finding an electron is 0. This region, where the probability of finding an electron is 0, is called as a node or nodal surface. There are different types of node. This particular type of node is called as radial node, suggesting that the region of 0 electron probability is in the shape of a sphere. Radial node is a spherical surface where the probability of finding an electron is 0. If we look at the radial probability distribution plot, the radial probability increases first, reaches a peak, goes to 0 at the node, then increases again, goes to a maximum at the most probable distance for the 2s orbital, and then goes down again. This is another way to identify a node, which is by looking at the radial probability distribution plot. The number of nodes is equal to the number of times the radial probability becomes 0. The radial probability is 0 at the nucleus, but it is not counted as a node. Next, we look at the 3s orbital. The 3s orbital is again spherical in shape, but is bigger than that of the 2s and 1s orbitals. If we look at the cross section, there are three regions of high electron probability separated by two regions of 0 electron probability, which are called as nodes. If we look at the radial probability distribution plot, the radial probability increases, reaches a peak, goes to 0, which is node 1, then increases, reaches a peak, and goes to 0 again, which is node 2, then increases again, reaches a maximum at the most probable radius for the 3s orbital, and then decreases. We can calculate the number of radial nodes in an orbital by using a formula which is n minus 1 minus L, where n is the principal quantum number of the orbital and L is the angular momentum quantum number of the orbital. Let us try to calculate the number of radial nodes for 1s, 2s and 3s orbitals. The formula is number of radial nodes is equal to n minus 1 minus L. For 1s orbital, the n value is 1 and L value is 0. Substituting these values into the formula, we get 1 minus 1 minus 0, that is 0 radial nodes. For 2s, n value, that is the principal quantum number, is 2 and the angular momentum quantum number is still 0. That is 2 minus 1 minus 0 comes out to be 1 radial node. Similarly, for 3s orbital, we get 3 minus 1 minus 0, which is 2 radial nodes. Let us do an example. Calculate the number of radial nodes for 7p orbital. Pause the video here and try to answer this question. The formula for number of radial nodes is n minus 1 minus L. For the 7p orbital, the principal quantum number is 7 and the angular momentum quantum number, that is L, is equals to 1. Plugging in the values into the formula, we get 7 minus 1 minus 1, which is 5 radial nodes. Let us do another example. Which of the following radial probability distribution plots represent a 4s orbital? Pause the video here and try to answer the question. We can identify the correct RPD plot for a 4s orbital by comparing the number of radial nodes for a 4s orbital with the number of radial nodes in all these RPD plots. First, let us calculate the number of radial nodes for the 4s orbital. The formula is n minus 1 minus L. The principal quantum number for 4s orbital is 4 and the angular momentum quantum number for 4s orbital is 0. If we plug in these values, we get 4 minus 1 minus 0, that is 3 radial nodes. And the RPD plot with 3 radial nodes in the following is option B. Next, we will look at the p orbitals. For the p orbitals, the angular momentum quantum number L is equal to 1. Therefore, the p orbitals start from the principal quantum number 2 and above. If we take a look at the electron dot plot, we see that the 3D space represented by a p orbital is not spherically symmetrical. The electron density is distributed in two regions of high probability. We call these regions as lobes. These two lobes are separated by a plane where the probability of finding an electron is 0. The plane with 0 probability of finding an electron is called as angular node. Now, this is different than that of the radial node. The radial node is spherical in shape and the angular node is a plane. If we draw a boundary that covers 90% of the electron probability density, we get a dumbbell shape for the p orbital. Because the p orbitals are not spherically symmetrical, they can have specific orientation in the three-dimensional space. If the lobes are along the x-axis, it is called as the px orbital. If the lobes are along the y-axis, it is called the py orbital. And if the lobes are along the z-axis, it is called the pz orbital. For the px orbital, the yz plane is the nodal plane. And for the py orbital, the xz plane is the nodal plane. And for the pz orbital, the plane passing through x and y axis, that is the xy plane, is the nodal plane. Therefore, there are three different types of p orbitals based on their orientation in the 3D space: px, py, and pz. Next, we look at the 3p orbitals. The 3p orbitals have same boundary surfaces, that is, they look like a dumbbell shape. But the 3p orbital is bigger than that of the 2p orbital. If we look at the cross section of the 3p orbital, we see one spherical shell of zero electron probability between the regions of high electron probability. That is, there is one radial node. In addition, there is a plane separating the two lobes of electron density, which is an angular node. We can calculate the number of angular nodes by a formula as well. The number of angular nodes for an orbital is equal to the L value of that orbital. Let us do an example. Calculate the number of angular nodes, radial nodes, and total nodes for 4p orbital. We learned earlier that the number of radial nodes is given by n minus 1 minus L. For the 4p orbital, the principal quantum number is 4 and the angular momentum quantum number is 1. Plugging in the values, we get 4 minus 1 minus 1, that is 2. The number of radial nodes for 4p orbital is 2. Angular nodes for an orbital is equal to the angular momentum quantum number of that orbital, L. For 4p, it is equal to 1. Therefore, the 4p has one angular node. The total number of nodes are 2 plus 1, that is 3. The 4p orbital looks like the following, with one angular node and two radial nodes. Next, we will look at d orbitals. The angular momentum quantum number for d orbitals, L, is equal to 2. Therefore, the d orbitals start from the principal quantum number 3 or higher. The boundary surface of the d orbitals looks like a clover leaf or a double dumbbell. It has 4 lobes of high electron density separated by 2 nodal planes or angular nodes. Based on the orientation of these lobes, there are 5 different types of d orbitals: dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square minus y square, and dz square. The first 4 d orbitals have nodal planes. The last d orbital, which is the dz square orbital, the nodes are in the shape of cones. These conical nodes fall into the category of angular nodes.